As Jake Paul and Gervonta "Tank" Davis gear up for the November 14th showdown, the boxing world has been buzzing nonstop. A leaked sparring video of Jake Paul and Tank suddenly surfaced on a boxing YouTube channel, and the footage has exploded across social media. Fans and analysts can't stop talking about it, and it's already one of the most controversial leaks of the year.
I didn't even notice it at first, honestly. I want to see the replay. Like, I don't even know if I moved at all. But it was pretty fast. I didn't see it coming, so we'll...
Most people didn't even know Jake and Tank had ever trained together. But during Tank's 14-month break from the ring, long before his fight with Frank Martin, he had a private sparring session with Jake Paul behind closed doors. That session happened after Tank openly mocked Jake Paul's boxing skills and claimed his own punching power was strong enough to hurt fighters as big as super middleweights.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Take deep breath when you want. Take deep breath. Right.
The leaked clip looked almost exactly the way Tank predicted. Even though Jake tried to use his clear size advantages, height, weight, and reach, to push Tank around, the lightweight champion relied on footwork and timing to make up the difference. Jake, who still relies heavily on knockout attempts, struggled to match Tank's technical skills. Jake kept trying to catch Tank slipping, hoping to land a big punch when he wasn't ready. But Tank's tight, high guard blocked nearly everything that came his way. After a few exchanges, Tank switched into counterpunch mode. And honestly, if the sparring had been officially scored, Tank would have won it clearly on points. Fans seeing the clip for the first time were stunned.
Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis.
Oh, I don't care. I don't think anyone cares, man. No one cares. No one cares.
One fan said, "Damn, this is exactly how the real fight is going to look. Boxing is about skill, not size. No YouTuber is beating Tank." Another wrote, "I don't know how anyone thinks this matchup makes sense. This is basically a younger version of Tyson versus Jake. Nothing special, nothing new."
So, we know he's going to be definitely frustrated. You know, he's slower. You know, his arm reach not that much longer. We just got to wait and see it till we get in there and test the waters. But I'm for sure, though, that he decent and he going to hold up for a couple rounds. But once it get hot in there, you know, I think it's play out.
To make sure the actual fight doesn't go any differently, Tank has started bringing heavyweight sparring partners to camp. He wants training partners who are closer to Jake Paul's size, 6 feet 2 inches, and a full cruiserweight.
Jake Paul versus Tank Davis. They just announced the fight. What's your instant reaction to that?
I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land one good punch on Tank, it's over with.
Tank even shared a photo on his Instagram story of himself training with a much bigger partner. The picture spread instantly and eventually landed on Jake Paul's feed. But Jake didn't seem bothered at all. He reposted the picture and wrote a message mocking Tank's partner.
Hey man, what do you think about it?
Bruh.
Yeah. Lay it on me, Rolly. What do you think, bro? Come on.
I don't even know what to think right now. I don't even know what to think. Maybe Tank has an unreal boxing ability and Jake Paul is really big. But the last time I said somebody was going to be bigger, they weren't that much bigger. But I think in this case, somebody's actually a lot bigger. So.
Did you see the face-off? Like, he's like a lot bigger. Even though I know it's like 190.
Jake wrote, "Tank is sparring a guy with cankles. Buddy bringing a real athlete." Even Terrence Crawford reacted to news with shock because of the massive size difference. Crawford said the fight might not end well for Tank. On the Full Send podcast, Crawford said, "Jake is too big for Tank. Way too big."
I gotta ask you, Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. Does Davis have a chance?
Gervonta is a great boxer, but he ain't gonna.
So you got Jake Paul by knockout, or?
No, I don't got anybody, but I don't think
He's just too small.
it's just I don't want.
Crawford has admitted before that he's not Tank's biggest fan, but even he respects Tank's skills. He made it clear Tank is talented, explosive, it's extremely hard, but size matters, and Jake simply has too much of it. Tank's last performance didn't help either. He went to majority decision draw against Lamont Roach on March 1st at the Barclays Center. Although everyone expected a rematch, Tank suddenly agreed to fight Jake Paul instead.
Bud is ready. Bud is always going to come in there 100%, and he's going to be on top of his game. He's going to be sharp, fast, strong. I think that's the thing that's going to surprise a lot of people with this fight is Bud power carries up. It's not just power that was just there for 147 or 140. His power carries up in weight, so I think that's the biggest thing that's going to surprise everybody.
Shakur, have you noticed that he's a step slower? And any downside to adding on a little bit of size with Bud?
I mean, I can't get into his camp.
Jake Paul, on the other hand, has faced years of criticism for fighting older or smaller opponents. Many fans don't think this matchup makes sense. Crawford agrees, but he'll still watch. He also believes Tank will lose badly. He said, "I think Jake wins. He's too big. If Jake lands one good shot, it's over. Jake has real power, he's not slow, and he can punch."
Gio's World, facts. That's why Tank wants to fight Jake Paul. I'm telling you, he want to fight Jake Paul because he know if he climb in the ring with Shakur Stevenson, he's going to get zapated. He know it. They all know it.
Shakur Stevenson, the 28-year-old WBC lightweight champion, also weighed in. When he appeared on TMZ Sports just minutes after the fight announcement, he was asked the same question. Does Jake Paul have any real chance of beating Gervonta Davis? Shakur didn't even pause. Nope, he said.
9 and like 109 point something his last fight against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He hasn't been only boxing for a couple of years. He's 12-1. Tank Davis obviously been boxing his whole life. He's 30-0-1. He's knocked everybody out except for 3 opponents in his life. But at what point does size matter so much though, where it can't be overcome, Shakur? And is it in this case here when you've got what is like a 70-pound difference between these two guys?
I mean, size will play some part of the fight, but
Shakur admitted that size matters, but not enough to decide the fight. If he were Tank, he said he'd use pure boxing IQ to make Jake look inexperienced. He believes Tank will win by decision, not knockout, because Jake is simply too big to get stopped easily. "I don't see Tank knocking Jake out," Shakur said again. But he said Tank would outbox Jake cleanly. When asked if he'd watched the fight, Shakur answered immediately, "Hell no."
Think about the rumors of Tank and Jake fight.
Man, Tank disrespectful to the sport if he choose that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. He called cap on it. So if he won't call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it. I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So he better be on his A game.
Shakur said Jake is good for his level, but there are levels in boxing, and Tank is a completely different level. From a competitive standpoint, Shakur said this fight doesn't excite him at all. He simply doesn't care to watch it.
Tank just outboxing him and making it real easy.
Is there any way any realistic or legitimate way in your mind you could see Jake Paul winning a fight against Tank?
No.
No way.
Nope.
Not a lot of people have talked about Jake and said he's got good power. Not even and I get anything could technically happen, but you don't even see a realistic shot where he could land one big punch, and Tank being so much smaller, he just can't handle the power.
Nah, not at all. I think Tank is
Shakur also said he saw this coming. Jake Paul was already at Tank's last fight with Lamont Roach. But what upset Shakur is the fact that Tank is choosing Jake Paul at all. Shakur has been calling for a real fight with Tank for years, but Tank has always avoided negotiations. To Stevenson, this upcoming exhibition is a slap in the face. Tank is disrespecting the sport, he told Fight Hub. If he's going to say, I'm not the best, come prove it.
Me and Tank, it's the biggest fight in the world.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be the biggest boxing fight in the world when it happens. I can see it happening not too far in the future.
Really?
I can see it happening. I don't think, I think Tank will sign that contract.
Dang.
And I'm going to sign a contract too, so
then you're going to get it on.
Yeah.
For years, Shakur and Tank have gone back and forth. They're in the same division, both hold titles. Yet they've never gotten close to a deal. Fans are tired of the endless drama. And now Tank is leaning toward entertainment fights instead of legacy fights. Stevenson said he has other names on his list, like Teofimo Lopez and Lamont Roach.
Instead, Davis will fight Jake Paul.
I think Tank is going through things that we don't know that he's going through mentally, so that's why I kind of like don't want to. I think that whenever I say something about him, it go viral and then they make it a way for us to beef or whatever.
Pile on.
Yeah, and it's more of like I ain't got to be friends with him, but I don't hate the dude, and I wish him well. I think that if he get his mental together.
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next.
What is?
You might say it in a minute. You definitely might say it in a minute.
Because ultimately it's about like being in the ring with him, right? That's the main thing. He want to be able to say, look what I've done in the last 4 years, 5 years, or 5 years in boxing. I got to the top. I fought the best fighter in the world, pound for pound, Canelo Alvarez or Anthony Joshua, heavyweight champ. That's just it. That's all he wants. He looking for clout, man. That's it. Clout at the end of the day. He know he can't beat none of those dudes.
If he stepped in the ring with an Anthony Joshua, all jokes aside, would you, from the outside looking in, a former fighter, you know how dangerous this is, would you look and go?
For years, Shakur and Tank have gone back and forth. They're in the same division, both hold titles. Yet they've never gotten close to a deal. Fans are tired of the endless drama. And now Tank is leaning toward entertainment fights instead of legacy fights. Stevenson said he has other names on his list, like Teofimo Lopez and Lamont Roach.
It's gonna be interesting to see, man.
So we see the same when Gervonta rematches Lamont Roach.
Could be, yeah, because the styles make fights, man. And obviously, Lamont Roach, man, look, anybody that can take a shot and that's tough, bro, and that can take it to Tank, they can beat him. All right? Roach, he mentally tough, had his game plan, was able to execute, was able to march forward in spots. He was able to control a lot of the action,
Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. Wow, that sounds crazy. That sounds real crazy. But doing it in Atlanta was a very smart strategic move. Because one thing about Atlanta, I lived in Atlanta for a good 4 to 5 years, and I know one thing when it comes to us, anything that's popping in the city, they coming out. They coming out. The city is coming out. So the city will be coming out. It's going to be packed. A packed house in Atlanta to come out. But of course, support Gervonta, because like I say, Jake ain't never in his life going to see a stadium so filled with black people in his life. You know what I mean? They coming out. It's going to be crazy, right? I see a lot of people in the comments, of course, they're upset about it.
For years, Shakur and Tank have gone back and forth. They're in the same division, both hold titles. Yet they've never gotten close to a deal. Fans are tired of the endless drama. And now Tank is leaning toward entertainment fights instead of legacy fights. Stevenson said he has other names on his list, like Teofimo Lopez and Lamont Roach.